Hey guys, my name is RyanCentral and welcome to HitScan. In this video we're going to go over the new skins and everything that was datamined as well as the new patch. We're going to focus on the patch last as the majority of information came out on Friday. There's not been much since, but at least we'll get a bit of gameplay to show off what these changes actually look like. Let's go over the skins first. This is the Sylvanas set and the pictures and gameplay are from the Dataminers, VALORANT, Floxy. Gotta shout those guys out, and you can find their Twitters in the description if you want to follow and keep up to date with stuff. And this is the image that we got a look at earlier, and whilst you sort of really gaze at it and see what you think, it should be a deluxe tier based off of its pricing, meaning that it should be about 4,200 Valorant points total for the bundle. And as you're seeing, you get an Operator, Vandal, and Phantom, as well as a Stinger and a Sheriff. No melee, but it's another set that has all three of the major guns in it, and it's kind of like Winter Wonderland and all of the other skins that have this kind of warped feel look. It seems to be based around a forest. It could be a teaser to a new map, but I don't think it's the new one. It just might be a bit of a background picture, much like we've seen in the past with Nebula, Winter Wonderland especially, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's an okay set. I mean, we just got off the back of having Mage Punk, so I wasn't expecting to see anything major coming into the game, and there's no effects to it or anything. It seems to be just, you know, a straightforward deluxe tier skin set coming into the game, so it really isn't too much to go off of it. I really want to see what it's like in game more than anything before I make a decision, but it's okay. It's not going to be the flagship skin set that you're going to see in the game. Maybe we'll get something in the future, but right now it's a decent skin in, but I can understand if it's not up to everybody else's taste because it doesn't have the flags and whistles. When it comes to other stuff that was data mined, this is a pretty interesting one when it comes to potentially the new map. We have a rough idea based on the night market that the new map is going to be based in the Caribbean, potentially on a ship. This ship that was seen actually in the battle pass of the last act. And maybe we were going to see a map play out on the actual ship container, maybe having people steal Radianite from that. But as more stuff has come out, these pictures have been data mined, and it seems that we might actually get a fully Caribbean map somewhere along the Bermuda Triangle is where a lot of places are going. But the text also says Visit Breeze, sort of adding to the rest of the theories that that's the name of the map. It's going to be in the Caribbean, but this is all we have to work with. For those that wanted a beach map, it seems to be coming, and looking on the picture on the right hand side, maybe there is going to be a part of it, maybe one of the sites is the ship, the container that we were talking about, and it's actually pulled up onto the island, and so it's kind of a mix of being on a ship, being on an island. That's going to be what the full map looks like, but as more stuff is starting to come out, it definitely looks like we're going to be getting it for the new act sooner rather than later. When it comes to agent stuff, there isn't all that much there to work with, but there's been some other things spotted. First of all, this Yoru 200 IQ spray is pretty awesome. It's good to see more stuff and love for Yoru. And other bits and pieces to mention is it looks like we're going to be getting defender and attacking coaching slots in scrims now, so pro teams can actually watch their team play and not get information about what the enemy team is doing, much like you get in stuff like Counter-Strike. Seems to be an ongoing thing here. And something that I'm really excited about actually is the fact that we could be getting more information on assists. This was found by Floxy, more icons, more images to show what assists can come in for kills. For example, if you get killed for a smoke, if you get killed fully flashed, or whether the enemy was flashed, assists with asterisk gravity well, enemies being detained when they're killed, enemies being stunned by breaches utility, you name it, there's pretty much an assist icon for all of this, and more information to get on how certain agents who may not get a lot of frags can actually have a huge amount of impact. At least that's the hope. Maybe more will be added, I'm not too sure in the future, but it's at least a step in the right direction. If this video sounds a bit disconnected and jarring, it's because literally as I'm recording this, more stuff is starting to come out. But this is the majority of stuff that's been found. If there's any other stuff that I failed to mention, timing might be a thing. More stuff is being data mined by VALORANT and Floxy as we're literally talking. And because of that, maybe we'll do a video tomorrow going over anything that we missed. But that seems to be a good chunk of stuff when it comes to what is in this patch that we failed to mention. But let's now actually talk about the patch. We went over this on Friday, so I don't really want to pick up too much on some of these major changes. And from what I can tell, there's no additions to the patch notes from Friday to now. So if you know those changes, you know kind of what's coming. But I want to use this opportunity to show off gameplay of the new changes to Astra and Raze specifically. For Astra, her gravity well now pulls the agents that are defusing the spike, and if they are pulled out of the defuse range, the defuse will be interrupted. This is some of the gameplay over from the Korean channel, so yeah, you can have a bit of a look. You can see how much of an impact it actually has, and this should be pretty major for Astra players out there. We seem to be in a bit of a post-plant meta currently, so this is only good to add to that. And honestly, whilst it might seem pretty small on paper, it could have huge impact and maybe force more teams, pro teams especially, that were considering just more running Omen in the future to move over to Astra. Really seems that she's coming into the game with a lot of power, a lot of pick rate, and a lot of impact. And so seeing Astra played a bit more with this change might seem a little bit overwhelming, maybe. And for Raze, more stuff to do with the sound effects and visual effects. The sound effects is to her blast pack. There's now more audio cues added to indicate when she's boosted into the air. You really have to listen to this to understand it, so this is what it's going to sound like.
효과음이 바뀌었다고?
The other change to the VFX has to do with explosions from the paint shell and the showstopper, and again, here's a brief look on what that would entail. The changes to Viper were more bug fixes, so we don't actually get to really see that much. But yeah, there's some really cool stuff in this patch. I don't think there's really too much else to talk about, and because a lot of this is just relaying information as it comes in, and because it's getting pretty late here in the UK, I kind of want to leave it there. Bit of a shorter video, but thank you very much for watching all the way through. The new skins are pretty decent, they're okay, but I'm always interested in the bigger skin sets as they come through with the kill animations and all that jazz, so understandable why we would get something along the lines of a deluxe tier right after having something more premium with Mage Punk. So we'll see. The new map stuff looks super interesting, but we have to see what the map is going to be like going forward. And coach slots, assists, lots of quality of life stuff coming in just before Masters 2. As an addition, I'll be casting actually some of the VCT stuff on Thursday, which includes Fnatic versus G2. Pretty crazy match coming up, so be sure to keep an eye out on all of those in the socials. And also shout out to everybody that tuned in to watch the Open Qualifier games. I was one of the people that was able to broadcast some of them. We watched a bit of G2 versus Vitality on the last day and almost hit 10,000 viewers on Twitch, which is insane. If you haven't followed my Twitch, if you want to see more tournaments and esports stuff, twitch.tv/RyanCentral. But I would like to think the majority of streams are going to be on this channel in the future. Who knows? I'll try and work that out as we go along. But thank you very much for watching. Take care. We'll see you then.